So very good morning, everyone. We will wait for few minutes if anyone join. So let's start with our session. Okay. In the previous session, we will discuss about the various properties of an electrodes which will be used in a high voltage apparatus, right? So today we will discuss the various properties of the atmospheric air, because already we will discuss in the previous lecture that we have three different type of dielectrics. One is a gaseous dielectrics, solid dielectrics, and the liquid dielectrics. Okay? So today we will discuss the what are the different properties of a atmospheric air. As you all know that the atmospheric air is a very much cheapest, okay, gaseous dielectrics used in a high voltage application, or in the recent trends, this particular dielectrics, the gaseous dielectrics like say atmospheric air, it will be also used in a power system applications also, right? So today we will discuss what are the different properties of atmospheric air, like SF6, oxygen, nitrogen, this kind of things. So what are the various properties of atmospheric air? And SF6, so SF6 means it's a silicon hexafluoride. This is also the gaseous dielectrics. Okay, so this particular SF6 has a two different type of states. One is state, another one is a gaseous state. Okay, so depending on the various state, okay, this SF6 free gas will be utilized. Okay, so SF6 gas has a various property depending on its applications, right? So supposed to be in the 19th century, this SF6 gas is mainly used in an atomic physics. Okay, and after the 90s, that means at around 1950, this particular SF6 gas is used in a high voltage circuit breaker. And since then, okay, so this SF6 gas is actually used in a power system application. That means the widely used in a power system applications. You already know in the power system protection that the SF6 gas, SF6 circuit breaker, right? So SF6 circuit breaker is a apparatus which are using in a high voltage applications, right? So today we will discuss the various properties, the properties of the atmospheric air, supposed to be the nitrogen, the properties of a sulfur hexafluoride gas, and the various properties in the vacuum. The vacuum is also the good dielectrics for the high voltage insulation, right? So in this particular cases, we will discuss today what are the different properties of a various atmospheric air as a gaseous dielectrics and as well as the liquid dielectrics. As because this SF6 gas has a two type of state. One is a liquid state and another one is a gaseous state. Okay, so although we will know that the SF6 circuit breaker, the gas which will be used in the circuit breaker is using in a high density. Okay, so because of this high density, the molecular mass of the SF6 gas is also very much high, so that it will be very much effective in the circuit breaker for using, okay, for high voltage apparatus, okay, for using the high voltage apparatus, right? So we will be directly go to the section which we will talk today. Okay, so uh, we will share the screen now. Yeah, is my screen is visible? Jones one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Manish, are you there or not? I think Manish is online, but it's not available, right? Okay, so let's start.
Sir, I am here.
Okay, 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 fine, fine. Okay. So just listen what we will taught. I will everything which I will taught because the syllabus is very much huge. Okay. So the gaseous dielectrics, liquid dielectrics, solid dielectrics, the measurement of the high voltage. Okay. So this kind of modules which will be there, and everything what we will taught we will upload in the LMS portal. You check the LMS portal for your university examinations purpose. Okay. Manish, if do you have any problem in the LMS which you have told in the WhatsApp? Do you have any problem in the LMS?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Which
sir.
type? Which problem? The user यानी कि पासवर्ड नहीं खुल रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir. ID is right.
अच्छा, so today I will check and I will resolve your issue, right? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I think it may happen that your profile will be deactivated and we will activate it today. Okay, first we will then I will tell you, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's start with our session. Okay, we will. So so is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will discuss today the gaseous dielectrics, which will be the first module for your high voltage studies. Okay, so previously we will discuss the basic ideas, okay, how the various electric field, because before starting this gaseous dielectrics, you should require what are the different kind of electric field, what are the dielectric properties which we have inside the high voltage apparatus, how this high voltage system will be applied in the power system application, and as well as the protection purpose. Okay, so this is the basic introduction part, right? So today we will discuss the various properties of atmospheric which will be used in a high voltage applications, right? So the our main objective for this particular lecture is to the various properties of the atmospheric air like N2, SF6, and the vacuum, which will be very much good properties, those gaseous dielectrics in the high voltage insulation, right? So what are the different properties of the atmospheric air? First, N2. Okay, that is one nitrogen. Okay, so keep in mind this is always this particular in the atmospheric air we have a various kind of gases, right? We have an N2, we have a oxygen, we have a carbon dioxide, we have a neon, helium, methane, okay, argon. So these are actually the table, the gases which will be available in the atmospheric air, that is actually available in this particular table, supposed to be the nitrogen. The nitrogen availability in the air is the 78.04084. Okay, the availability of the oxygen in the atmospheric air in the recent day is 20.948, as we will know in this particular COVID-19 situation. Okay, so there will be the maximum requirement of the oxygen. Okay, so from this particular table you will see out of the 100% of the availability of your particular gases, the oxygen the amount of the oxygen available in the particular atmosphere is only the 20.94%. Okay. So this things is very much important, so you keep remind these things always, you keep on increasing your oxygen. Okay, so you have to plant some more trees so that our oxygen level of a particular atmosphere will be increased. Okay, so that we will recover this particular situation in a pandemic situation, right? So these are the practical scenario of what are the different type of gas which will be available in the atmosphere. Okay, all those gases which will be applied in the high voltage applications also supposed to be, there will be the nitrogen have a maximum number of density in the air, it will be 78.084. Then oxygen, now the second one is an oxygen 20.946, argon is 0.934, carbon dioxide, okay, 0.031, which will be not necessary in our breathing purpose, okay, the carbon dioxide is not been necessary, okay. So neon 1.82 into 10 to the power minus 3, helium 5.24 into 10 to the power minus 4, methane 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 2, krypton 1.14 into 10 to the power minus 4, hydrogen 5.10 into 10 to the power minus 5, okay, nitrous oxide N2O 3 into 10 to the power minus 5, xenon Xe, which will be defined as an Xe, 8 power minus 6, 10 to the power minus 6, okay. So carbon monoxide CO 1 into 10 to the power minus 5, ozone, okay, because we have in the atmosphere we have a various layers which will be there in the atmosphere, okay, ozonosphere, stratosphere, that this particular layer will be there. In the ozonosphere we have a huge amount of ozone gas which will be there, which will be protect our atmosphere from some radiation, okay, from the space, okay. So that will up to 10 to the power minus 5, okay, and which will be very much important, okay, not in the list but it is very much important, it's a water, okay, up to 1, okay. So okay, you can see that what are the different things which will be available in your atmospheric air, okay. So the maximum thing is that the nitrogen in the atmospheric air, nitrogen have a maximum density. What is written in this structures, the written in the structure that the most important and the freely available and the cheapest gases, as I will already told, this atmospheric air, normal atmospheric air will be very much cheapest gaseous dielectrics in the air, which will be available in the atmospheric air, and in a very long days this atmospheric air will be used as a dielectric in the high voltage applications area, okay. So the atmospheric air is in effect is a mixture of a number of gases. Number of gases means what? This type of gases which will be there available in the atmospheric air. The details composition, these are actually the composition of the atmosphere which will be available in this particular table, okay. So these things you will remind, okay. So that thing will be purely based on the in the organic chemistry. If you in the class 12 we will already taught the organic chemistry. In the organic chemistry, what are the different molecular structures of each and every gases in the atmosphere, that will already you will know. Those who have in the chemistry background, they will briefly discuss very well what are the molecular structure of a nitrogen, what are the molecular structures okay of a oxygen, what are the molecular structure of a CH4, methane, okay. So the nitrous oxide, carbon monoxide, these things, okay. So for the electrical engineers, you only need for the high voltage apparatus applications, what are the basic things which will be needed, what are the basic atmospheric air composition which will be available in the atmosphere, that things you will need it, and what are the percentage, what are the percentage of the air which will be available inside the what are the volume, the percentage of volume or the number of molecules of the dry air which are available inside the air, that thing it will be shown in the table, right. So now we will go to the next part. It will be written that the largest percentage content of an atmospheric air in nitrogen. I already told the 78%. Okay, according to the 100% volume is concerned in the atmospheric air, 78% of the nitrogen is available in the dry air. Okay, which will be the this nitrogen. Keep in mind these things. Nitrogen have a electropositive gas. Okay, so N2. N2 has a electro positive gas. The second largest consistent is oxygen, which will be available in our atmosphere. The dry air is at 20%, which is a very weak electronegative gas. Okay, oxygen will be electronegative. Electro, as we will know, told that N2 is a positive electropositive gas, O2 is a electronegative gas. Okay, so the content of the hydrogen. Now we will go towards the hydrogen. The content of hydrogen, the hydrogen is also electronegative gas. Has too much low. It will be 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. That means it's a very much, okay, so very much low. So that are all the practical purpose that air can be considered as a electropositive gas. The complete air, The complete di here will be considered as a positive, electropositive dielectrics. Okay, inside the here there will be the various gases which will be available, and depending on the particular gases which will be used in the dielectrics, that will depends upon whether the gas will be electropositive and whether the gas will be electronegative. So inside the air we have a various gases, and this particular gases have a different property. Suppose N2 have a electropositive gases. Okay, oxygen has a electronegative gases. Okay, and also the hydrogen has a electronegative gas. Okay, so these are all those things is available inside the air. The majority of the theoretical as well as the experimental research work available in the literature to study the complicated discharge process in the gaseous dielectrics has to be performed on the air. Okay, so normally these are the three things: this nitrogen, oxygen, and the hydrogen. These things will be mainly needed for your high voltage studies or any such kind of research applications area. Okay, the rest of the gases will not been used. They are slightly used in the power system applications, but mostly we will normally use in the nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and near about SF6. Okay, sulfur hexafluoride. That things you keep remind these things. Okay, so now we will go towards the what are the different properties of a sulfur hexafluoride or the SF6, right? So I already told in the very beginning of this particular lecture that this SF6 particular sulfur hexafluoride gas will be developed in the 19th century. That means 90s, the 19th century, and which will be developed by the French scientist Marchand and the Libula by detect the fluorization of the sulfur. Okay, so that the sulfur hexafluoride will be the mixture of a particular metals which will be called as a sulfur, or the gas we will say that the sulfur. Okay, so in the beginning, okay, in the very beginning and after this 19th century, this particular dielectric gas SF6 gas will be used in the dielectrics in a atomic physics. Okay, atomic physics में ये जो SF6 gas का जो properties था, the gaseous dielectrics था, then that will use. Okay, and after that in the 1950s this particular SF6 gas is mainly used in the high voltage circuit breaker applications. Okay, for developing the high voltage circuit breakers. Okay, so we will normally use the sulfur hexafluoride gas, and why we will use the sulfur hexafluoride gas we will discuss in the when we will discuss the physical property of a SF6 gas, right? So in the 1950s, after the 1950s, it will be this the applications of this particular SF6 gas is used in a various application area of the power system, right? So in various kinds of industry, power system, power industry, we will normally use the circuit breaker like SF6 circuit breaker. Okay, we will use the air circuit breaker. We will use the vacuum circuit breaker, as we will already, as you will already know in the previous 7th semester, the power system protection, right? So various type of circuit breaker is available in the power system studies. Okay, power system protection studies. Okay, so normally we will use this three type of circuit breaker. One is the SF6 circuit breaker, the vacuum circuit breaker, and the air circuit breaker in the power sectors, right? So and this SF6 circuit breaker is mostly used in the various power plant. Okay, so now for that cases, what are the various physical properties which will be available of this particular SF6 gas? The first thing is that this is purely, this properties will be purely based on the inorganic chemistry. Okay, so this SF6 molecules, this is actually one molecules which will be divided into the several parts of the sulfurs. Okay, sulfur molecules. Okay, so 6 fluorine atoms arrange themselves uniformly like a octahedron. Okay, on a central sulfur atom. Okay, so the structure you will see in the chemistry. Okay, the what will be the structure of a SF6? S will be inside the middle portion, and from the middle portion it will be uniformly structured like a octahedron. Okay, so an excited sulfur atom can be therefore form a 6 stable covalence bond with a strongly electronegative fluorine atom by sharing the pair of electrons. Okay, that is actually what will be the structure of a particular molecule of SF6 that will be described in this particular property part. Okay, so almost the halogens, take amongst the halogens, the fluorine element and the sulfur atom both are a heavy, very high coefficient of electronegativity. Okay, as this particular electronegativity is very much high in this particular molecule, like a fluorine and the sulfur, this particular SF6 gas will be very much consumed in the circuit breaker applications. Okay, of the and which will be the order of the circuit breaker, or sorry, order of the SF6 gas, the order of the fluorine and the sulfur molecule or the atom have a order of a 4 and the 2.5 respectively. Okay, so the various molecule have a various the orders. Okay, you will already know in the inorganic chemistry that what will be the various order of a various gases. N2 have some order, oxygen have some order, SF6 have some order. Okay, carbon monoxide have some order. Okay, so the fluorine and the sulfur having the order of 4 and the 2.5 respectively. Okay, which will be very much high. Okay, the coefficient is a measure of a tendency to attract the electrons of an atom to form the dipole bondage. Okay, so what will be the different dipole monopole bondage? That will be the physical structure, actually the physical structure of the SF6 gas, which will be developed in the inorganic chemistry. Okay, so also what are the different properties, and also I will told you that the SF6 gas have a rigid symmetrical structures. Okay, so it has is very much rigid means it's a very complicated structures. Okay, very much complicated symmetrical structures. Okay, so this SF6 gas have a property of a non-toxic. Okay, the gas will be very much colorless. Okay, this SF6 gas have a odorless gas. Okay, keep remind these things always. This SF6 gas, this particular point is very much important. That keep remind these things. Maybe some one time in the interview they were asking. The SF6 gas have a odorless gas. There will be the no odor, zero odor. Okay, the colorless and the non-toxic gas. Okay, so and also you will know that SF6 have a very high molecular mass. So due to this high molecular mass, it has a very much high density. Okay, it has a very much high density, and also you will know that this particular SF6 gas have a two type of state. One is a liquid state, another one is a gaseous state. Okay, so and now we will consider what will be the temperature parameter of a particular SF6 gas. Okay, so here it should be written the thermal dissolution is highly purified SF6 gas begin in extremely high temperature at about 1000 K. Okay, so for consuming, for preserving the SF6 gas, it have a requirement of an extremely high temperature. Okay, such high temperature in the power systems occurred only in the electrical areas. Okay, so सिर्फ इलेक्ट्रिकल एरिया में एप्लीकेशंस के लिए we will normally use with SF6 gas because the SF6 gas have a high molecular mass. So due to this high molecular mass, okay, it has a very much high density. Okay, and it will be preserved in the cylinder in a such a way with a very much high temperature, so that it will only used in a electrical applications also, electrical applications. Okay, not the other applications. You cannot use the SF6 gas because for the preservation of the SF6 gas, it must require a very much high temperature inside your cylinder. Okay, so even a continuous temperature up to about 500 K. So sometimes that means for the preservation of the particular SF6 gas at a certain temperature of a 500 to 1000 K. Okay, so neither the thermal decomposition of the SF6 nor its chemical reaction with the other material has been reported. Okay, so that means what? Okay, so when we will preserve the SF6 gas in a very much high temperature, so there may happen some thermal decomposition will be appeared in the inside the cylinder, so that there must have some chemical reaction will be occurred inside the cylinder. So for reducing this particular things, we need to increase the temperature in a such a way that you will preserve the who is inside. Okay, so you preserve this SF6 gas in a such a way in a very high temperature, so that there we have a neglecting of a various chemical reactions, and as well as the thermal decomposition inside the particular dielectrics, which is used as a sulfur hexafluoride. Okay, and also we will told that SF6 has a non-toxic gases, which will be colorless gas, and it don't have any odors. Okay, so some of the important physical properties is also being there of a SF6 gas, like a molecular structures, molecular properties, and that which will be so what will be the physical properties of the SF6 gas, that is shown in this particular table. And for describing the property of the particular SF6 gas, okay, so what are the different properties of the particular SF6 gas? The properties are the relative permeability, the dielectric loss tangent, critical temperature, the triple point, okay, sublimitation point, specific heat capacity, heat conductivity, and the heat transition number. Okay, that need not be required right now from the BTech level. That is not required. Okay, when you go for the MTech level now, so for that cases you need some requirement of the particular description of a SF6 gas when we will use in a high voltage applications. Okay, so keep remind to right now, so what were the different properties of a SF6 gas is available inside your syllabus. That is the first of one is these things will be required. First of one is the relative permeability. Okay, so dielectric loss tangent, and what will be the specific heat capacity and the heat conductivity. These things will be required for right now. Okay, so the relative permeability for the SF6 gas will be 0.1 to at around 25-degree temperature to the minus 51-degree temperature, when this particular SF6 gas is used as a liquid. As I will told that SF6 gas have a two different type of state. One is a gaseous state and another one is a liquid state. When it is used in a liquid state, the temperature will be varies from the 25 to minus 51 degrees centigrade. But when this particular SF6 gas is used in a gaseous state, then it will be have a very much high temperature like 100 K. Okay, the symbol which will be defined by the relative permeability is a ER. Okay, and the value will be this. Okay, the dielectric loss, the range of the dielectric loss between 5.10 to the power minus 6 to less than 5.10 to the power minus 6. Okay, and it will be symbolized as a 10 lambda. Okay, critical temperature, that will be the critical temperature. Okay, 45.5, triple point, it's not required right now. Okay, the specific heat capacity, are you heard about CP and CV? Okay, the specific heat capacity, okay, which will be defined as a CP and a CV, which will be the value of the particular CP and CV of a specific molecule like SF6 is 5.13 and the 4.06. Okay, so these are the table. You keep in mind these things for the theoretical purpose, not the practical purpose right now. For applying this kind of properties now, you need to go to the high voltage laboratory. What the things which will be available inside the high voltage laboratory, as in the previous discussions we will told you all those things we will be considered in a theoretical purpose. But if you practically, if you will go in the high voltage laboratory now, what are the different kind of applications area, that will be very much huge. Okay, so that things you need to be, if there will be the no physical contact right now. Okay, so that we cannot show you the high voltage laboratory, because we don't have an high voltage laboratory right now in our campus. But in eastern region we have only two institute have a high voltage laboratory. One is a IIT Kharagpur, another one is a Jadavpur University, as I will already told in the previous lecture. Okay, so if you go to the high voltage laboratory now, so what are the different kind of applications area that you will see. Okay, when we are student now, so that time we will visit the Jadavpur laboratory, high voltage laboratory, and that will be very much older. Okay, so that will be the 18th century, that particular things, that high voltage lab which will be developed. Okay, that means in the British, they are developed already. Okay, so now we will go towards the molecular mass, the last point which will be there. The molecular mass of the SF6, as I will already told, that molecular mass of the SF6 is very much high, which will be near about 146, and it have a very much high density. So this line is very much important. Because of the high density, the charge carried have a short mean free path. Okay, the property the properly along with the properties of the electron attached, that is the electronegative and the high ionization energy, result as a high dielectric state of a SF6. Okay, so although the SF6 gas have a high molecular mass, okay, and it has a very much high density, and due to this particular high density, okay, so the SF6 gas have a very much good dielectric strength. Okay, so due to this particular good dielectric strength, normally in the circuit breaker applications we will use the SF6 circuit breaker as a high voltage apparatus, okay, in the industry or in the power sectors, right? So that is the thing, which will be available in the properties of the sulfur hexafluoride. Okay, so some few points is needed for the basic consideration of the sulfur hexafluoride. Keep remind this point is that in the 19th century this SF6 gas is firstly produced. Okay, sometimes from there in the interview they are asking what will be the different properties of the sulfur hexafluoride gas, can you know? Okay, so then you have to discuss, these are the few points that is said in the 19th century this particular SF6 gas is first produced in the French scientist. Okay, in the previous in the very previously this particular SF6 is used in the dielectric in atomic physics, okay, mainly used, and after the 1950 it will be used as a high voltage circuit breaker. And since then this particular application area of the SF6 gas is used in a power system application. So the SF6 gas have a rigid symmetrical structures. Okay, this particular gas has a property of a non-toxic side, colorless and the odorless gas. It have a very much high density. So due to this high density, this SF6 gas have a high molecular masses. Okay, and this particular SF6 gas have a two different state. One is a liquid, another one is a gaseous. When this particular SF6 gas is used as a gaseous dielectric, then it have a very much, then it will preserve as a very high temperature like 500 to 1000 K, and when it will use in a liquid dielectric, so for that cases the temperature will be very much. Okay, so that things you needed, okay, for the basic introduction for the SF6 gas is needed. Okay, so the now there will have some figure. Okay, so the figure will be told that there will be, I already told, there will be the two state, the two states, state of a dielectrics. One is a liquid dielectrics, another one is a gaseous dielectrics. Okay, are shown in varying pressure and the temperature. So when the SF6 gas as using in a liquid dielectrics, that have a different temperature and the pressure, and when it will used as a gaseous dielectric, then it have a different pressure and the temperature. So that is why it is written that when the SF6 gas is used in the liquid or the gaseous, are shown the varying the pressure and the temperature with the different constant densities of the gases. Okay, that things is very important. Okay, depending on the state of your SF6 gas, okay, your temperature and the pressure of the SF6 gas will be vary, constantly vary, depending on the densities of the gas. Okay, depending on the density of the gas, as we will already told, the SF6 gas have a very much high density in the atmospheric air. Okay, okay, like in nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen have also a very much high density. Okay, but oxygen don't have any high density in the atmospheric air. As in this particular table you will see that the oxygen density, okay, the volume of the density of an oxygen is very much low right now, okay, in the atmosphere, or the, we can say that in a dry air. Okay, so the diagram is important for the point of view in the practical applications of the SF6 gas. Okay, with the range of a working pressure and the temperature of the gases, and it will be that particular figure which will show that, but that is actually the graph Okay, the graph between which will be state, this is the temperature versus pressure curve. Okay, the temperature versus pressure curve, which will be P versus tau. Okay, so the here this particular graph will be defined the state of SF6 for the different constant gas densities and the varying temperature and the spatial within the practical applications. Okay, so when at a various temperature, what are the different type of pressure of a particular SF6 gas, that will be shown in this particular figure. Okay, if you are using the 20 temperature, what will be your pressure of a SF6 gas? If you are using the 40-degree temperature, what will be the pressure of the particular SF6 gas? If you are increase the temperature from 60, what will be your pressure of an SF6 gas? That we which will show uh, in this particular structure or in this particular figure. That means the state of SF6 gas with a different constant gas densities. Okay, at a different temperature. Okay, so if the temperature will be varying, obviously the pressure will be varying at a different state. Okay, and that will also depend whether the SF6 gas are using in a liquid or whether the SF6 gas is used in a gaseous dynamics, right? Okay, so that is the thing. Now we will go towards the electrical properties of a vacuum. Okay, so as you will know in the power system protection, you will know how you will heard about the vacuum circuit breaker. Okay, you will also know that the air circuit breaker. You will show the air circuit breaker, vacuum circuit breaker, and the SF6 circuit breaker. Okay, there will be the n number of circuit breaker is available in the market, but these three circuit breaker is mainly used for the high voltage applications, right? One is a vacuum circuit breaker, one then second one is a air circuit breaker, another one is a vacuum circuit breaker. Okay, so what are the property or what are the electrical property as we are using the vacuum as a dielectrics? Okay, so you will know that thing, the vacuum have a very much high voltage insulating property, so that is why the vacuum is used in a high voltage applications. Okay, so what is written in this case? It is written that the idea of the vacuum as the insulation is quite old. Okay, so vacuum dielectrics normally recent trends में recent power system applications में उतना amount तक uses नहीं होता है. It will be the application will be area will be very old. Okay, so before the 19th century we are using the vacuum circuit breaker. The vacuum circuit breaker right now from the various countries it will be obsolete. Okay, right now the circuit breaker which will be used, one is a SFC circuit breaker, another one is a air circuit breaker that is normally used. Okay, so although the vacuum circuit breaker have some advantages and as well as some disadvantages is there. Okay, so now what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages we will discuss. Okay, so the thing is that will be the vacuum circuit breaker who can develop, that will discuss in this particular part. Okay, so now what are the different properties, the electrical properties of the vacuum, that will discuss in this particular part. Okay, that will discuss in this particular part. Okay, so what is written in the first point? It's extremely low gas pressure. At extremely low gas pressure, electron ionization process becomes the inadequate to cause the breakdown. Okay, because the main free path of an electrons defined as a distance as the electron can travel without coinciding. It's a non-right thing. For the another particles, it's a very long. What does it mean? What does it mean? Because if we are using the very low gas pressure, so for that, the electron ionization process will be inadequate. Inadequate means inadequate. It's not very much adequate. It's not very much required for the ionization purpose. Okay, so there will be, when we have a very much low gas pressure, we have a maximum requirement of the electrical ionization for avoiding the breakdown process inside your cylinder. Okay, inside your high voltage apparatus. Okay, so more number of electron ionization, we have a requirement of a more number of molecules. Okay, so that is the thing. So next point is, in a vacuum better than 10 to the power minus 3 torr, that is torr in the vacuum dielectrics, the unit will be defined as a torr, TORR. Keep in mind these things. Sometimes in the interview, may asking interviewer may asking, say, what will be the unit of the vacuum dielectrics. Okay, so for that cases, keep in mind these things. Okay, and what will be the 10 to the power 5 and 4 means, that will be the value 1.333 into 10 to the power 2 pascals. Okay, less than 3 into 10 to the power molecule per centimeter cube are estimated to be present, and the length of the mean free path is offered to the order to the meter. In a such vacuum, the electron may cross a gap or a few centimeters between the two electrons without any collision. Okay, so if we have a very much high collision, then what happen? Then vacuum would not be created. So if the collision of the particular module will be increased, so for that cases, there will have a suspension of some air pressure which will be there in the cylinder. Okay, so for that cases, there will be the no generation of the vacuum. So there we have a requirement of that type, that number of molecules for producing some for producing some vacuum, and vacuum will be produced if this particular molecules, this particular density which will be available inside your cylinder, and that molecule will not be in a collision state. Okay, so that thing will be normally used in a vacuum. So normally it's a very older state of a property, okay, which will be not been used in our applications area. Okay, so that we will normally not been used mechanically or the electrically. In the electrical apparatus, we will normally not use. This has some disadvantages. So these are actually the advantages which we will show in the yellow line. Okay, so the disadvantages is huge. Okay, disadvantages use means we have a number requirement of the electron ionization. We have a requirement of the electron ionization that will be very much expensive also. Okay, so you have to keep remind the what will be the what will be the maximum molecule, and that particular molecule will not be coincide. That thing you keep in mind. Okay, so the various properties which will be observed in the vacuum, so that we will not be use the vacuum dielectrics as a high voltage, but it has a very much high voltage, very much good insulation property. Okay, just like as a SF6 and the year. Okay, so that's why this particular in the circuit breaker applications, we will normally use the three different type of circuit breaker. One is a air circuit breaker, another one is a vacuum circuit breaker, and the SF6 circuit breaker. Okay, so that will be the properties of a various gases which will be available inside in our atmospheric air in a dry state. Okay, so I think today we will stop our lectures. We will next we will discuss the few things. Okay, in the next lecture. So what are the different another property? What will be the properties of a other gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and this particular methane and helium. Okay, that is in the nuclear applications. Okay, in the nuclear power plant. Okay, this particular neon, helium, this particular uses of this particular dielectrics will be mostly used. Okay, so that things we will also discuss in the next lecture. Okay, so okay, okay, so is there any question? किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है? सागर, सागर इज देयर?
यस सर।
कोई क्वेश्चन है तुम्हारा?
नहीं सर।
अरे नहीं सर, अरे कोई क्वेश्चन तो बोलो, खाली हम ही बोलते जाएंगे तो कैसे होगा? उस साइड से कोई क्वेश्चन आना चाहिए। अच्छा, SF6 सर्किट ब्रेकर, वैक्यूम सर्किट ब्रेकर, और एयर ब्लास्ट सर्किट ब्रेकर अभी देखे हो? तुम लोग कोई इंडस्ट्रियल विजिट में गए थे?
No, sir.
No. Okay, so uh, okay, the next lecture I will discuss the different parts of a particular circuit breaker, so that you will not physically, okay, but you will observe these things, because this particular thing, although this high voltage engineering, power system protection, although it will be not been available in the syllabus of a gate, but for the practical applications, for the practical applications, you need this particular subjects very carefully. Okay, so if you are go to the power plant, this high voltage engineering and the protection, and as well as the power system and machine, these are the four things is mostly needed, okay, of your total beat extent. Okay, so these things you, although it will be not in your grade syllabus, but you have to study this particular subject, okay, so that you will very much sound, okay, engineer in the industry, and the power sector industry or industrial industry, whatever the industry you have chosen after the bit. Okay, so किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है, so we will share this particular thing to the LMS portal, you will check, okay, and next lecture we will talk, I think, in a on Tuesday again I will taught the another session, okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we will stop the session right now.